Okay, we're back. And we're gonna head down into Swamp. Should have a decent time on a character like this, even if it is a Naga. We should be able to kill things pretty easily, right? Not so sure about fighting two leeches at the same time. There we go. I'm gonna throw stones here, rather not lose my tomahawks into the water. On the other hand, I have so much in the way of throwing that maybe I should just not worry about it. Always good to remember to do that trick where you're shooting past one thing into another thing. In Swamp, it's very important to remember that you can hit fire like F and then period to make sure that your thing lands right at the monster, not in the deep water. I don't think I can constrict this thing. Let's focus on the slimes. Actually, this is hard enough that I should be using steel javelins. Probably should have used some penetration, actually. Looks like we're okay, though. Not bad. Yeah, like I was saying, this level of throwing is gonna take out just about anything in here, you know. Especially since we have penetration to get us out of any particularly nasty situations. Like, penetration is the tool for defeating things that otherwise might cause you problems on a character like this. Like Thorn Hearts. Or Thorn Hunters, I believe they're called. If a Thorn Hunter shows up... Actually, let me make sure I'm not lying. Yeah, Thorn Hunter. If a Thorn Hunter shows up and he puts a bunch of briars in between me and him, and then he proceeds to shoot me with a bunch of that ranged attack that he has, that might be like a big problem. But with penetration, I can just proceed to do damage to him even if he's protected by the briar patches. Actually, I'm going to do something real fast. I'm going to edit my RC. I have enough hit points and defenses on this character. I don't mind walking in shallow water, so let's comment this out for now. I think it's a shame that you have to go out of your game to do that. But it's not that big of a deal, you know. Okay. But yeah, 172 hit points. It's gonna be hard for me to die unless I run into something special, some kind of unique that's an issue. I could see maybe Isol causing this character issues. Probably not him. Mara, maybe. Really liking this this constrict plus throwing plan. Before this character, I'd never really tried that, but works quite nicely. Okay, let's go up. I don't want to fight the Thorn Hunter and this thing at the same time. Not really afraid of the Thorn Hunter, but doesn't mean I want to fight it. I'm in a bad situation. Alright, let's... I think tomahawks are fine. Hold up. Let's see how fast it is, or how large it is, I mean to say. Where's the size listed? Size is not listed, so I assume that it's normal size. I don't see size here anywhere. Oh wait, no, size large. So I don't think anything large can be constricted. Let me just check on this to be sure. Same size or smaller. So a Naga is the same size as a Thorn Hunter, so we can constrict. Fine, cool. And let's just throw some tomahawks. I don't mind if they get lost in the deep water. It's worth it. We don't need these books. We'll burn it. Rather have the piety. Try on this ring. It's cursed. It's loudness. Identify this one of acid. Why not? Eating a little bit of damage here. But that's okay. Cannot constrict hydras, by the way, because they are very large. We're only large. Cool. It's my friend, the Ghost Crab. Actually, not a big fan of these guys. Thankfully, he didn't really spit on me much during his approach. And we got him. I'm not even going to use returning over deep water, because there's no guarantee it'll actually return. You know what? I'm going to walk backwards. Okay. That was a little risky, but not really. I mean, we have potions and things if I take too much damage. This could be interesting. We want to watch out for hornets, but none came out, so we're okay. Spellforged Servitor and Mana Viper set this on fire again. Again, a little bit suboptimal that I'm not using those for fighting, but we're at the point where we don't really need Conjure Flame on top of enemies, even if it is really good. And I just would rather not deal with the inventory management, personally. Okay, this is interesting. I do not know what's behind this door. I'm going to swap to blowgun. We're going to find out. Oh. It's immune to poison, so we can't curare it, really. I think the answer is to just use javelins. We'll use penetration now. Okay, thankfully it takes all 4, but we do succeed. And we got all of our javelins back. Nice. I want to get this thing constricted. Nice. Now we use javelins of returning. He dies to the spectral mist, which is cool. We don't have any RN, and I think that RN protects you from that. Oh boy. Why don't we use penetration to get all this stuff? Didn't quite work, did it? Now what to do? We're out of penetration. Well, we could acid him if he was closer, but he's not. We have blink, so we're not in any particular danger. Could use lightning wand if he was a couple squares closer as well. I think I'm gonna do this. That'll encourage him to come closer. He should keep coming. Why don't we just throw... He's closer now. Cool. Gonna use acid. Took him out. Good. Worth it. Well, actually, I guess I don't know if it's worth it yet. Wow, this is miserable. I sure am glad that I have javelins of penetration, because you're basically like forced to have a grand old time fighting through spectral things in this vault. Suppose I could have yelled and dragged the thing out, dragged all these crabs out. Not immune to lightning. So let's take a step. Let's penetrate. And use lightning to finish him off. I hate using my penetration frivolously. We've lost 2 out of the 4. We just don't really have enough javelins of penetration to save us in bad situations. Yeah, I figured these guys would be here. Apocalypse crabs. What to do about this? Well, the chaos is bad because it could kill us at any moment with, like, with paralyzed. So we're going to kill this thing, and we're going to teleport. Whoops. Okay, that's not bad. Unfortunately, they're both still there. What to do? Can we confuse? We can try. Hold on, how much damage can it do? Yeah, I could get paralyzed, I could get abyssed. I have to use another teleport. Sucks. Let's see if I can kill these things with steel javelins, though, before the teleport ends. See, he got paralyzed. Okay, we got one. Okay, well... Alright, I'm gonna risk it. Alright. So that could have gone worse. I don't think that was optimal for me to go into that. Although I don't think I would have died if I had gotten paralyzed. So, you know. You be the judge if I should have fought those. Okay, he's confused. Cool. Normally I would try to walk away from these trees. But we can kill the Spriggans so quickly. It's probably more optimal for me to just start swinging. Alright, couple staves as the reward here. Little disappointing, but we got experience, you know, so that's cool. Oh, Amulet of Guardian Spirit. I'm gonna stick with the Scarf combo for now. I think this is just cosmetic. It says you feel spirits watching over you. I don't think having 2 Guardian Spirit does anything special. I can check. Doesn't really say. Yeah, I'm gonna guess no. Yeah. But that gives us an option if I find a nice cloak, if I find a different scarf that I want to use. Hey, remember Berserk? We still have this. Those hornets make me nervous because of the paralysis that's possible. Let's confuse him. Pretty straightforward stuff. We just got marked, but no big deal on a floor that's mostly cleared already. More Needles of Sleeping. You'll notice I'm kind of leaving the Needles of Sleeping alone. In my experience, they don't work very well. I mean, I would need to train a lot more stealth for them to be valuable. Because it works, you know, it works like a normal sleep, but, you know, we only have 5 stealth right now. It would be pretty easy for me to bump it up, I guess, so it might be worth doing. But then again, I don't really want to be a stabber. On the other hand, maybe I should become a stabber. Throwing plus short swords do like 15 runes with the needle idea. That might be kind of funny. I guess a dagger of electrocution spawns, so it's not like it would be a terrible idea. But honestly, we're doing fine. We're doing fine just with this. More of a stat stick than anything mace, plus my throwing. Triple sword, huh? Okay, there's going to be a lot of hydras in here. So let's shout from here. I'm shouting and then waiting a couple turns, although it doesn't seem to be working, so I'm just going to keep shouting. Oh, there we go. See, this gives me an optimal stretch of, you know, throwing. We're gonna kill the Hydras first. Uh-oh. Let's lamp a fire. Oh, nice. That's a perfect spread. But yeah, I didn't want to kill the druid because it's gonna, when it dies, it uses might on the animals around it, including hydras. A mighted hydra is no joke. We're making a lot of noise here. But remember, kiting things back to a staircase is not really an option on this character. So this is what we're working with, you know? We kind of have to fight the whole vault at the same time. Now, if, like, Passage had spawned and I wasn't a Trog Worshipper, then maybe we would have some options, you know? There are things that you can do if you have access to spells, but when you're a Trog Worshipper, you kind of just have to suck it up and duke it out with a lot of things at the same time. But we're using throwing, so we're very, very strong. This is a very powerful character, so we can handle it, you know? Let's recharge. Should have done this sooner. Nice. Shouldn't have come this close. Should have kept shouting. That was a mistake. This is okay, though. We're still basically at full hit points. Oh, come on. That guy survived a little longer than I expected. Oh, an ice dragon. Okay. Getting a little nervous. We'll use penetration. Didn't quite work for me. Steel javelins. Well, let's open up with the lightning. We can confuse these guys if need be. Let's walk off. Well, no, that didn't quite work. Still got a dragon to fight. Gonna just fight. Looks like we got him. Fine. Stones aren't really gonna cut it, but we're out of, we're out of good stuff. Looks like my 2 steel javelins did the job, though. Ooh, vampiric demon whip. That's nice, but I think I'd rather have my stat stick. Plus, we, as attractive as vampiric is, to a degree, that still, it stops me from swapping to my blowgun if I want to use that. Which, by the way, we could have used against some of this stuff. I just didn't. Okay, we've got all of our throwing back. This thing's very large, so we cannot constrict it. That's quite a lot of nasty stuff around me. Nothing I do here is going to guarantee that I won't get paralyzed. Unless I use a really valuable piece of, consumable, like blinking or fear or something. Let's use Brothers in Arms. So if I get paralyzed, it's no big deal. The Deep Troll will happily wreck everything near me. This is one of the reasons Trog is so amazing. Like, nothing in this branch really can stand up to a raging deep troll, or stone giant, or iron troll, or really any high-level brother-in-arms. So we're gonna go to snake. We're gonna go to snake next. We're going to get ourselves a second rune. I'll do this in the same video since this is not taking too long. We're going to hopefully have a decent time there. The lack of Aurelek is a little bit annoying, but we can kill the serpents at long range for the most part, so it's not a huge deal. I still would have liked to have had some kind of weapon gift that is in-game material. I mean, don't get me wrong, Anti-Magic Demon Whip is end-game, Vampiric is pretty much end-game, certainly will carry you to the end-game. But I want something swappable that does, like, you know, that's like an artifact with some resistances on it. But I can't complain. This is good enough. Just hold this and throw things. Works out just fine. So yeah, let's go straight to Snake Pit. Things I'm concerned about in Snake Pit, well, it's not the usual Snake Pit because I'm a Naga. I am as slow as these other Nagas. I can't necessarily run away from these dudes like I would normally be able to. Also, well, I have our fire, so salamanders aren't a huge deal. I see that there's a whole ton of things here. That kind of sucks. Geez, I don't want to be in the middle of all this. Sooner or later, I'm going to get constricted. I suppose I could teleport. Because, like, normally if I were facing all this, I would say, okay, well, I'm fast. I'm faster than these Nagas. I'll just walk to the top left. That's what I would normally do. But if I do that, these guys are going to be able to follow me. I'm going to be slower than the Mambas and stuff, so I'm going to be eating damage the whole time. Normally, I would be, like, only a little bit slower than the Mambas, but I'm significantly slower. Same for the Serpent. So it's just not quite right. And if the Nagas, like I said, if they get close to me, I'm going to get constricted. So I think, let's see. If I was like using a weapon, I could just berserk and kill all this stuff, but we haven't invested enough in melee to make that happen. So I think I'm going to blind to teleport. Get away from the contested staircase. Let's just fight on this staircase. I'm not pretending the staircase is guaranteed to be safe. In fact, it's not at all. But it's okay because we have digging. We can make a kill hole. Like if I need to make a kill hole, I'll make a kill hole. So I'm just gonna stay kind of close to this edge. But I think we're gonna be okay with the power of throwing. Maybe I shouldn't be auto-exploring. Yeah, let's kind of hug the wall a bit. Try to kill this Guardian Serpent so I don't get surrounded. Oh, he didn't want to die there. We're at the point where rocks do pretty good work. Not that I would like to be using rocks to kill things, but If it's what you got, it's what you got. And again, they're not awful. Regular stones are rather underrated. Okay, I've bitten off a little more than I can chew here. So we confuse all of it. Throw rocks until they're dead. Even the ones with the shields will go down to throwing. It's just a little bit harder. Hey, Amulet of Faith. And we actually have an Amulet of Faith in my inventory, apparently. Let's try on this ring. Pro Magic. I don't need that as long as I'm holding on to this mace, so we're going to drop that. As far as this stuff goes, you know, I'm going to buy this Ring of Protection. It's good. We're going to wear it in place of our core. And we're going to wear Faith. This will give us more gifts. This will give us more ammo, which is really what we're after. And it'll give me more uses of Brothers in Arms. Still trying to get the constrict first, usually, and then throw. If I can debuff my opponent before hitting them with my main weapon, that is a good thing. Okay, we can kill Nagarajas pretty easily. That's good to see. Oh boy. I'm gonna lamp this stuff. Probably should have lamped a little earlier. Seem to have awoken a pretty big pack. And it's still coming. I guess I'll use these poison javelins. I generally draw the line at using poison. It's not like it's not good, it's just, generally when I start finding poison ammunition is when my inventory management is getting absurd. Mana Vipers are surprisingly testy in melee. I think I'm noticing it more because they're draining my mana at the same time. And if you recall, I have Spirit Shields, so it's kind of like they're doing extra damage to me, effectively. Okay, this is a little much. Fire should take out the Naga Mage. Still a little much. Confuse that guy. Alright, I don't want those, I don't want those to fire automatically. I want the steel ones. There we go. Oh, come on. 25% chance to confuse. Let's just finish it off with lightning. We're pretty low on hit points. He can hit me for a whole lot of my hit points at this point. Let's finish him off with an Ice Blast. See if we can't walk away from this stuff. It's not quite working. Well, he could double poison arrow me at this point. Oh jeez, there's so much. Let's see if I can't make it to the staircase. No. Now that they're in this configuration, let's Ice Blast them. Okay, back to safety. So, we definitely overextended there a little bit. But this character is just so strong that it's not a huge deal. Plus, I mean, I'm gonna err on the side of on a Naga. I'm gonna err on the side of like staying in combat versus running away, because running away takes a whole lot of time. It's like being a Che follower. You kind of have to commit to every fight. To a degree. We don't need this book. Although, we're going to leave it, because it has Portal Projectile, and if I swap off Trog, Portal Projectile will be one of the spells that I want, because it effectively... I read something recently that suggested that it increases your damage. I don't know if that's true, or maybe it just increases your accuracy, but... increasing accuracy is a form of increasing damage. Even if it didn't, though, Portal Projectile is a great spell. And if we're throwing, I mean, it essentially gives me penetration light on every single ammo, every single thrown thing. You can even Portal Projectile, like needles. A lot of cool stuff you can do with Portal Projectile. Probably one of the most useful spells in the game, assuming, well, depending on your character type. Okay. This is a decent place to engage. Just one way in, one way out. Smaller pack than I thought it would be. Let's identify these scrolls. It's brand weapon. Now, we could use brand weapon and probably come out with a really nice end-game weapon, like a two-handed one. But again, I am really, really pleased with the way this is going, so I don't really see why I should change anything. And that's sort of something that you might want to keep in mind when you're crawling. Like if you're doing well, if your character's not having any problems, if everything's smooth, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Like I see people, I've looked at you know, TTY's logs or whatever, and I've seen where people will, you know, they'll get obsessed with like, oh, I want to have this high-level spell online, and they'll overinvest in this one thing, and their character will have this really long, awkward period. And it's like, it can work, but you're giving yourself a headache, and you're not really getting much benefit out of it. Now, I mean, there are situations where the opposite is true, where you really do need to plan for the future, where if you, for example, mindlessly stick to like nothing but hexes, you're going to have a rough mid to late game when you realize that your character doesn't really have an answer to things with high MR. But with throwing, I mean, the only real thing that you can't kill with throwing easily is stuff with our missile. But the only stuff with our missile, other than Sajobo and like Panlords sometimes, is what, like a Windrake, Spriggan Air Mage. It's stuff that you can just punch in the face until it's dead pretty easily. So I mean, yeah, this is totally fine. I'm having like a little bit of like FOMO, I guess, is possible when you're in this situation. That stands for fear of missing out. And what I mean by that is like I can't really use Berserk to its maximum potential, but that's bad logic. Like you shouldn't do something just because you think it would be optimal with that god if what you're already doing is working just fine and you're significantly invested, you know? Like, yeah, I'd like to be able to Berserk and get some really good use out of it, but do I need that? Not really. And I can still use Berserk as sort of a poor man's escape tool. I'm gonna disintegrate this thing. Might as well use this wand, why not? Looks like Kirky's on this floor. It's the Donald. 12% chance to confuse. This is a really good chance to use some of these needles, which we've been not using. Of course, he's got that shield, unfortunately. So I may just have to use... I may just have to end up using... Wait, there we go. I was going to say we may just have to use Bia, Brothers in Arms, to kill him. So now that he's confused, he should have no shield. He immediately gets Curarade. Cool. Now I'm just going to hit him with these poison javelins. Oh. He's not confused anymore. We'll get him in the flame. We'll put the blowgun back on. He should die to the flame here in a second. We're going to confuse the Nagaraja. Wow, he is staying alive by hitting me with that vampiric scimitar, I'm assuming. Yeah, draw strength from your wounds. Well, I don't like that. Why don't we finish him off with lightning? Down he goes. Oh geez, another one? Well, we're gonna confuse this one too. He is not having it. Okay. And he's dodging my javelins too, as his buddy died. Wow, he's really doing some work on me. Well, I want to confuse this thing. I'll try one more confuse needle on the Nagaraja. He resists. What to do here? I guess I could hit him. Now he's constricted. Throw rocks at him. Okay, that works. Fine. Let's go up. Can she porculate me? No, she can't. So we really just have menagerie to worry about. And she's dead. Pretty easy, right? Now we have a shield now, but we already had one actually, and unfortunately Donald has been rude and did not provide us with reflecting or any cool brand on the shield. Let's go up. I want to try the shield on. Yeah, we only gained 2 more SH from that. Not really worth the investment. Oh man, this double zap situation is not great. Yeah, I like the constrict plus rocks, or stones, is enough to kill a Nagaraja. That tells me this character is really, really ready. For not just this part of the game, but, you know, more of it. In fact, we're going to train nothing but fighting and throwing now. Our armor and dodging are at really appreciable levels. 10 is a nice place to stop in my experience. Now, I haven't done the math on it or anything. I try not to get bogged down in specifics like that. If you want to play totally optimally, clearly you do want to get bogged down in the math. But I find it to be kind of a headache. And I don't know if what I'm saying is I don't know if the effort expended to figure out the exact AC breakpoints for what kind of armor you're wearing and so on and so forth. I don't know if that's giving you a big enough benefit to be worth the effort, to be worth the headache. I have my doubts that that would ever like help you streak harder in reality. Just keeping Roka confused here. Having some good luck on the confuses. Oh boy. Alright. Mara, Lord of Illusions, is here. Let's see. Is he resistant to poison, so we can't really curare him? It missed and hit St. Roka. Okay, Needle of Confusion isn't quite working. I'm under the impression it probably can't work against Mara at my current skill level and enchantment. Nope, we got him. Okay, that changes things. So there's a copy of me here. But he only hits for 6 damage because he copied me when I was wielding my blowgun, so nothing to worry about really. You get to cheat a little bit almost with the Mara clones if you're a throwing character. Hey, what am I doing? I should be using javelins. Not going to use penetration though. He's not resistant to electricity, so... Oh. Let's go up. You know what? We're going to use Brother in Arms. Take him out the normal way. Oh. Bia disappears. When you go down a staircase. Anti-magic Bardich is a nice weapon, but again, we're gonna stick with what we're good at. Plus, I really like having a shield. I think that having a shield on this character is really, really optimal compared to using a shield on something else. And I say that because my speed. It all comes down to my speed. By necessity, I am going to eat way more ranged attacks than just about any other character. With a shield, I have a chance to block a few of those. That extra defense does more for me than it does for, like, somebody who can just walk away from Naga sharpshooters or whatever. Also, I'm throwing mainly, and wearing a shield doesn't do any kind of penalty to that. Now, right now, it's just a buckler. It's not really doing much for me, but later it's going to be something a little bigger. And I bet, well, I don't think there's any way to track this, but I would bet you that I've blocked quite a few attacks. Nice. Got some more javelins of penetration. Back up to a 4 count, I think. Yeah. If I were to be totally comfortable, I would want to have around 10 minimum. In my experience, that's roughly enough to deal with most nasty threats, even if the RNG is not being nice to you and you're missing a lot. Because sometimes you just really need to kill something that's far away and behind monsters, you know, like a flayed ghost, that kind of thing. Very, very common and extended. It's less common in the regular game. Quite a few things coming here. There's an ogre for some reason. Not sure what's going on there. Guess I'm kind of a litter bug, leaving these all this stuff on the floor, but I'll grab it here in a minute. Not a good position. We're going to get surrounded by a decent number of things. You know, this is a very contested entranceway. I understand where to branch end, but I feel like it's possible that we are drawing things out of the vault itself, because this has been... I mean, look at the tiny, tiny area. And I didn't really have much of a choice but to fight here. I mean, even if I wanted to, I couldn't have gone to another staircase, really, because the 3 staircases are essentially right next to each other. Not really complaining. I mean, it's worked out well enough. I'm just a little surprised at how contested it is. I mean, that's not to say we've tried to be quiet here. I mean, we made a decent amount of noise. It doesn't surprise me that I pulled some stuff. It just surprises me the volume. Oh, that ogre must have been from St. Roca's pack, actually, come to think of it. The one I saw a minute ago. Really just O-tabbing at this point on these guys. You know what? I want this guy constricted. There we go. I have no idea how much that increases my average damage, but I imagine it's a lot. I know that Constrict does damage every turn, and it, as I was saying, it completely hoses their EV really badly. Ooh, it's Vashnia. Let's set up a better engage. Well, like, look at this. 2 EV pips. Oh, wait, he's dead. Hold on, let me... Alright, this one has 2 EV pips. Get him in the constrict. Halves it. I don't know if it always halves it, or if it just takes away 1 pip, but that's an enormous EV penalty. That's enough to count. That's enough to notice. Let's see. Alright, this is a good one. She has 4 pips. Grab Mrs. Vashnia. There we go. Yeah, so it's actually better than having it. It just drops it to 1. That's even better than I thought it was. So, yeah, Constrict is strong. Really, really, really strong. We're going to hit this dude with some steel. Well, that's that's funny. I never noticed this before. I guess it's because I'm a Naga. Says, swear allegiance to our queen and you may yet be spared. So you have like a special... See, this is the kind of thing that I really like about this game. There are little hints of flavor. And you, even if you've been playing for a really long time, you might run into some of this stuff that you didn't know was there. A lot of this is in the text that uniques will say, depending on the race and class combination that you are, plus the god that you are. Sometimes in the case of Donald. But yeah, Vashnia has some unique things to say to me because I'm a Naga. So I think that's cool. It's a shame that there's no mechanical... there's no, like, mechanical way to actually do this, you know, like how Beog worshippers, or how Hill Orcs, I mean, can worship Beog to avoid dying to the first priest pack. It would be kind of neat if you could somehow, if there was like a Naga god or something that you could actually... But even so, I like it. It's just a little bit of fluff. It doesn't really change anything. It doesn't affect anything mechanically, but I still find it, you know, neat. Oh, come on. She doesn't want to die. I'm just gonna... Lightning. Vashnia is no slouch. She can do pretty good damage. Okay, we got the Book of Earth. This is definitely nothing this character will ever be using, even if I swap off of Trog, so... No Book of Earth. Here's some stuff that might be useful. Maybe the book as well. Let's try the Ringmail. The Ringmail is bad. Although you would have a hard time beating out this +7 plate armor. We'll try the wand here in a second. Could be something good like Scattershot or Clouds. Yeah, we cleared out this vault, so that explains a lot. Staircases, main vault. So, my assumption was correct. We made just enough noise for these dudes to say, hey, we hear something. Which is the second time this has happened this game. We had that vault in Orc 1 that was just filled with baddies. And they came to the staircase and probably almost killed me. So that's something to watch out for. You know, there's nothing wrong with leaving. I didn't have to do Orc 1 when I did it. I didn't even have to do Swamp 4 when I did it. Technically, if you wanted to be totally optimal and safe about it, you would do like Swamp 3, Snake 3, and then go back to Swamp 4, and then go back to Snake 4, because the branch end is the hard part. So any little extra bits of experience you can get safely or semi-safely is going to be better than, you know, not doing that. You know, we have everything we need. We have everything we need to do slime. If I pop on resist corrosion instead of that resist cold, we still have RC. We have a ton of AC. We have our core. And we have all the MR we need to block Goldeneye. So this character is super ready for slime. The only reason I am a little bit reticent, just a bit, is the slowness is a problem. Slowness means I cannot safely get to staircases in the same in the same kind of with the same kind of efficacy that I normally do. Like, I understand that acid blobs are faster than almost all characters, but it's the ratio, you know? I am not going to be able to get to the staircase as quickly before the acid blob reaches me. I'm still going to do it next, almost definitely. I like slime a lot more than vaults. I think it's more reliable. Although now that floating eyes are a thing, all over the place, maybe not. I have to think about that. We're throwing, though. We have penetration. We can kill them almost instantly, so it's probably fine. But yeah, next time slime. I may even do part of vaults if the video doesn't take too long. I don't anticipate this character is going to have a huge problem. We do have 200 hit points, and that helps a lot. The biggest thing is TRJ himself. What I'm going to do is, let's see, Naga Rajas have, this will save me the trouble of doing math. Naga Rajas have 15 hit points, or hit dice. TRJ, Royal Jelly, has 21 hit dice, so I guess I'm not sure. What I'm trying to determine here is, can I use needles on this dude? And I'm not sure what the answer is. If I could frenzy TRJ, he would basically fight his own dudes, fight his own summons, and kill himself slowly, or quickly even. And it would be kind of a funny chain reaction, because he would fight his own guys, they would fight him, he would spawn more guys, and then he would fight those guys himself. So that would be cool if I could get the frenzy on him, but I'm going to bite the bullet and do a little bit of math, because it's a formula that, it's like, what hit die range can you affect, right? And it has to do with the bonus on your blowgun and your throwing skill. And I think those are the only two things that go into it. I'm like 99% sure. But I'll do the math on that. I won't waste time on a video doing that. And if it works out, that's how we're going to kill TRJ. Otherwise, I might do some kind of like vulnerability plus confuse, or vulnerability plus some other kind of wand. Maybe that wand was paralyzed. That would have been nice. We could polymorph him even, although I don't know if that's the right choice, because that does spit out quite a few jellies. What I do know is that we have 3 blinking, we have 6 teleport, so we're pretty well equipped to get out of here if things go south. It just comes down to, can we kill TRJ? And the usual strategy on a Trog dude, where you go into the hallway, make a couple brothers in arms, berserk, and just go to town after quaffing maybe. Well, you don't berserk, you use haste and might. But that whole thing is a no-go on this character because, well, we're using this cute little stat stick that doesn't really do any damage, and we have almost no training. So we're going to need to get a little bit clever here. But you know, I think it's going to work out. So until next time, I'm signing out.